My name is Amanda, and I'm the owner of Evergray Designs. Evergray was started because of my daughter, Ever, who has a port wine stain down half her face. And basically, a port wine stain is a birthmark. It's a capillary malformation, but it can cause medical issues like Sturge-Weber and glaucoma and some deformities. So, yeah, it's something we have to watch, and she goes in and she gets laser treatments once a month. So, I started the company because the first time I took her out, I know, she's fussy, always. The first time we took her out to a restaurant, the waitress kind of peered into her car seat and then looked back at me and said, "What's wrong with her face?" And I told her it was a birthmark, and she looked back down at her and she kind of made a sad frowny face, like she felt bad for her. So my first instinct was to cover her up and put the blanket back over her, but I realized that I can't spend the rest of my life protecting her from people making comments or asking questions or even being rude. So instead, I came home and I started looking for ways that I could empower her and make her feel good. And there was very little that I could find. I found a lot of t-shirts with like words on them, but I don't feel like children can relate to words as well as they can to pictures, which is why we started out looking at pictures. So I decided to make something myself. And that is where my first design of the Ever polar bear was born, my unbearably cute shirt. I made it for her. And then I thought there have to be other kids and parents who feel the same way, who want something that represents them, but not just in writing. Something that they can look at and say, that looks just like me. And there's not a lot of that for kids. So I started making other designs, other shirts, not just for port wine stands, but for children with limb differences. That's backwards. Limb differences, children who are in wheelchairs, nonverbal children, children with Down syndrome, just anything that you can think of where people might have something to say about it. I feel like it not only empowers the child, but it also kind of keeps people from saying anything, because clearly the child is aware that they're rare, which is another shirt we have, aware that I'm rare. So that's the gist of why I started the company and what I started out with. I've moved on, but besides t-shirts, I also make jewelry. We're going to be starting custom seatbelt covers, which is really awesome because it's going to have like pertinent medical information or anything a first responder should know, but also kind of come in like cool patterns or pretty patterns for kids. And my favorite thing is the mermaid pillowcases. They're so good for sensory issues or just for fun. I love playing with them. But the whole purpose of the company is to show kids that everyone has something that makes them unique. I have a 6-year-old who has Tourette's. I have a 3-year-old with webbed toes. Can't see the webbed toes unless he's wearing sandals, but it's still something that makes him different. And I think that it's so important to let every child know that everyone has something that makes them unique, and that's okay. And there's going to be challenges. Some of these kids have bigger challenges than others, and it's okay to sometimes feel sad or feel down, but at the end of the day, it's so important to understand that you are who you are for a reason. And I think that's the biggest goal of the company, is to make children feel good about who they are, no matter what. Here she is. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah, you see yourself?